make history. The neighborhood that we know as Bay Ridge, when the Dutch came and displaced the Lenape and the Canarsie tribes, they called it Yellow Hook for the same reason that Red Hook got its name, because of the color of the soil. In Red Hook's case, red. In Bay Ridge's case, the soil was yellow. And hook to the Dutch is not the same as we understand it in English. Hook meaning it came to a corner or it came to a point. So it's called Yellow Hook for a long time. Then when the yellow fever was running rampant, they changed the name to Bay Ridge. When the subways were first built in the early 1900s, people on the 4th Avenue line, or what will become the 4th Avenue line, really petitioned hard to get a subway. We started building blocks and blocks of row houses in Bay Ridge as soon as they announced the construction of the R train, the 4th Avenue line. And, you know, people don't realize that long before there was the Verrazano Bridge, which connects Staten Island to Brooklyn via Bay Ridge, there was talks of what they called during this period the Staten Island Tunnel. And this began in the late 1800s. They were talking about doing this. They actually started work on it in the 1920s, but the project got halted and ultimately got scrapped. Then they immediately started talking about putting a bridge up to connect Staten Island and Brooklyn. But it didn't go any further than that. Then lo and behold, 20 to 30 years later, none other than city planner extraordinaire Robert Moses resurrected the idea of having a bridge. They were going to call it the Liberty Bridge. That was the original name. Then they were going to call it the Narrows Bridge. Then ultimately, when it opened in 1964, they decided to call it the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. Bay Ridge had a large Norwegian population for a while, up until the 1970s. And now in the 21st century, it's pretty much a melting pot of Greeks, Irish, Arabs. Bay Ridge acts as a central meeting place for Muslim Americans in general here in New York City. It currently has a population of anywhere from 70 to 100,000 and has scored a high on an anti-Asian hate meter, unfortunately, which we've been having some serious issues with here in New York City lately.